I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's webcast. I want to talk to you about the Psalms again today. Psalm 92 this time. Psalm 92 is one of those Psalms in the Song of Moses. And by the way, there are 12 stanzas in the Song of Moses. The first stanza is over in Deuteronomy, and stanzas 2 through 12, 11 stanzas, are in Psalms 90 to 100. These were all written by Moses, dedicated each one to a tribe. And this particular tribe is Judah. Psalm 92 is to Judah, the royal tribe. Well, it starts out with, "It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, to sing his praises unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night." And he goes on to say in verse 6, "A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever." Now, according to the rabbis, this psalm describes the Antichrist rising to power so that he will get enough rope to hang himself, so to speak. I have said, for example, in my writings about this psalm, though he does not understand, the Antichrist incurs the wrath of the world when he moves his throne to Jerusalem. And it does not mean that this happened in 1992, okay? I've got something for 1992 in just a moment, but this, generally speaking, is looking to the future. In fact, all the psalms build like a snowball rolling down the hill, larger and larger and larger until we, come to that time called the tribulation period. But I write here, when his monetary system is implemented and mankind is forced to accept the mark in the flesh of the right hand or forehead, those who have not been brainwashed by his propaganda machine will balk. I believe the kings of the East will rebel and marshal their forces against the Antichrist and his crumbling world government. The greatest war of history will be in the making, Armageddon. Go on and write about what the rabbi said. The wicked flourish like grass and are soon withered. On the other hand, the righteous flourish as the palm tree and the cedar of Lebanon. So says verses 7 and 12. God allows the wicked to prosper so that they will suffer all the more when they are punished. An example would be Haman. When, according to the rabbis, when Haman was just a minor player on the Persian scene, it is said that his original treachery occurred when he advised Ahasuerus to halt the construction of the second temple. At that time, he was only a minor official. If God had punished him then, no one would have noticed. Therefore, God, quote, caused Haman to prosper and succeed so that he could hang and teach the world a lesson in divine retribution. So, when he stopped the building of the temple, that is, when he advised Ahasuerus to do so, he hadn't done enough wickedness yet. God was not ready to punish him. God allowed him to go on to try to bring about the destruction of all the Jewish people, the genocide of the Jews, and that's when he built the hanging tree for the gallows for Mordecai, and eventually was hanged on that gallows himself. Eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. God said to Abraham, "Those who bless you, I'll bless. Those who curse you, I will curse." And so the idea here is that the Antichrist will start out as a minor official. And he'll do this. Nobody will like it, but they won't do anything to him yet. And it'll build and build and build and build until finally the world will balk and the greatest war of history will take place. And so this means then that the Antichrist is going to get away with doing things that people don't like, but they're powerless to do anything about it. They don't have the vote. They would be unsuccessful in trying to get him to stop his craziness, his political craziness. And it just builds, and he just gains more power and more power and more power until finally, in the last half of the tribulation period, things go downhill fast. And it results in a great world war to rid the world of the Antichrist and of all Jews while they're at it. Because you see, I believe the Antichrist will be from the tribe of Dan, and he will be ruling over Israel at that time. At least his throne will be in Jerusalem, and he'll be ruling the whole world. A world government headed up by the Antichrist. And so that seems to be what Psalm 92 alludes to. But listen to this. Verse 3, upon an instrument of 10 strings, and upon the psaltery, upon the harp, with a solemn sound. An instrument of a harp of 10 strings. Believe it or not, in 1992, a couple living in Israel decided that they would revive the ancient musical instruments. And for the Temple Institute, they built a harp of 10 strings. It was in 1992. And even though most of the psalm here is not really laid out for 1992, there is at least one verse and one allusion to it. By the way, Talmudic scholars have talked about this psalm, and in the Tehillim, that is a Jewish commentary on Psalm 92, they write, quote, "Human history is God's masterpiece. Physical creation was completed at the end of the sixth day, but the spiritual development of mankind will continue until this world ends at the close of the sixth millennium. When the panorama of human history is completed, the seventh millennium will be ushered in as a day of everlasting Sabbath. At that time, all of Adam's descendants will look back and admire God's completed masterpiece." So, this psalm is designated for the end of the sixth millennium. 1992 is a nice year, at least to start looking toward the end of the sixth millennium. And 8 more years, of course, we'll cross the threshold into the seventh millennium. The Antichrist hasn't showed up yet, but hey,